I'm gonna be one of the biggest artists in the world. But first, I'm gonna be the biggest artist in Australia.
Hey, okay. Little by bit.
When you listen to Jaycee, you're not just listening to this guy rapping, you're listening to a body of work that is really, really thought out.
Jaycee is an independent artist from Perth, Australia. In this interview, we talk music, how he got 1.3 million followers on TikTok, plus his recent tour with Leeds United Football Club.
Yo, what's good fam? It's Jaycee here, hanging out with Rush, live and direct from the Melbourne studio. Enjoy guys, let's get it.
Let's go, Rush!
What's up guys, I'm your host Rush. Today's guest is a singer, rapper and producer from Perth, my man Jaycee. Welcome to the show.
What's up bro? Pleasure to be here.
Thanks for coming past. I first heard your music a few weeks ago and I got to say you're doing some big things.
Thanks man. I try to keep my finger on the pulse, staying active and keeping the momentum, the movement going, and that's what I'm about.
So your mum's Jamaican, right?
Yeah.
How has she influenced you musically?
She's Jamaican, yes. I think she's influenced me musically more in a sense that she's always believed in me. So she's always been a strong believer about following your dreams, doing what you love. She was the one who saw me at a young age and went, "You've got something special." And she actually bought me my first guitar when I was about 10 years old, without any training, and just strum it and sing and rap. And I started complete shit, but it was just so much fun and I fell in love with the process of creating. Thanks mom for seeing that before it happened, yeah.
Have you had the chance to go to Jamaica?
Yeah, I've been to Jamaica before. Like, big vibes. The people there are so rich in spirit. The island is just so scenic, it's so beautiful. There's the weather, the beaches, the vibe is amazing. And like, if you ever meet my mom, she's got like such a massive personality. Like, she fills the whole room up when she walks in with just her voice and her laugh and her vibe. And I think that's, such a signature Jamaican thing. And I like to bring that to my music and my performance and stuff like that, yeah.
I'm super keen to get to Jamaica one day. That's high on my list.
I would recommend it to anyone, yeah.
And so is it true that you started out on the streets in Perth busking?
I would finish high school and I would go to the city after school. Like, finish school at 3, go to the city after school at 5 o'clock and busk to all the businessmen coming out the building. And I remember one time I was busking on Murray Street, it's a street in Perth, and this guy in a suit walks by and he just gives us $50. And he goes, "Look kid, keep going." And then that's when I was like, oh shit, this could actually be a job.
So speaking of that, you sing, you rap, and you produce.
Yeah.
Out of the 3, is there a particular one that you enjoy doing most?
I would say first and foremost, I'm a vocal artist, rapping and singing. And then the producing is kind of something secondary to me now. It's just kind of natural. I don't think I would ever make a song that I didn't have producer influence in. Like, even when I get sent a beat, I'll end up producing, like taking out their kick drum and putting my own kick drum in. Or it's just kind of, when you listen to Jaycee, you're not just listening to this guy rapping, you're listening to a body of work that is really, really thought out.
So let's break down one of your tracks.
Yeah.
Think of one of your favorite ones that you've made so far. Like, where do you start the process? How does the creative process work? Like, you start with the beat, start with the lyrics.
Changes all the time. For the most part, it would always be, I would make the beat or I'd find a sample and I'll start writing to it. And I usually know within the first 15 minutes. Like, I'll, for instance, searching on YouTube, find a cool sample, load it up in Logic Pro, and I start looping it, whatever. I'll know something will come to me within a 15-minute window if it's worthy of continuing. If I feel something, I'll keep going. I'll make the beat. As I'm making the beat, I'm writing as well. I'm coming up with melodies. I'm singing as I'm making the beat. Beat's made, jump on the mic and I'll just record it. And then the first recording will usually be just freestyle, gibberish, humming, mumbling. And then if it's a vibe, I'll fill in the blanks with the words that come to me at the time.
If you're enjoying the content on my channel, there's also a good chance you're gonna like my newsletter. It's a free exclusive email that I send on a regular basis, sharing what motivates me through YouTube, podcasts, athletes, hip hop, art, and more to help inspire you. I've put the newsletter link below in the description of this video. All right, let's get back into the interview. So the way I came across your music was I had a mate get in touch with me and was like, yo, you gotta check this guy out.
Yeah.
and I went onto your YouTube page and I heard the song One of These Days.
Yeah, sweet.
And that really grabbed me.
Yeah.
And it's had quite a number of views on YouTube as well.
Yeah.
Has that been, would you say, like your biggest track or one of the biggest tracks?
One of These Days is a unique track because that was a part of a project I did called One Song, One Dream, where I put out a song and a music video every week for 6 months.
Hey, okay, hit at the hit, little by bit. I will not quit, keeping my whip, hit it and dip. Life is a trip, grip it, don't slip.
Yeah. So One of These Days would have been like song 4 or song 5. I can't remember exactly. And out of that project, the 26 music videos, 26 songs, One of These Days was one that really had a spike in numbers for my audience at the time. I think the message resonated, the old school throwback on the beat, the vibe was right on it, and like for me, the message behind One of These Days is exactly what I'm doing right now. It's kind of a song I go back to remind myself, trust the process. One of these days, it's all gonna change. If you're going through some shit now, you're not always gonna be going through shit. Eventually, that shit's gonna turn into something amazing. And One of These Days is about, riding the waves as it comes and realizing that there's ups and downs in life and recognizing the downs as a down and not thinking this is your life, and recognizing the ups as a moment just to embrace. But most importantly, trust. Everything's trust.
I mean, now that you've had a bit of a taste for the industry, what's your thoughts on the Australian music scene? Is it good being an Australian artist, or is it difficult?
I think being an Australian artist is such a privilege. And I think a lot of Australian artists have a mindset that oh man, it's hard for us, or oh man, there's not a lot of love here. You can easily, look at it that way. Like, you can look at the negative in any situation, but the reality is we're in the best country in the world. We got complete freedom of speech. We got complete opportunity. We can make as much money as we want. To be an artist, a creative in Australia, you are blessed.
Are you in the mood to flex some of your skills and do a little acapella?
Yeah, I could. What can I do? I knew this life was for me since I was young. I kept it calm, felt my shine, now they feeling my storm. And to my mom, don't you worry about your son when he's gone. And to my dad, don't you worry, I know the money will come. Cause they don't wanna see me rise up. Now I'm on the TV, fired up. And I heard what they speak inspired us. But I could never keep my eyes off of the vision. Cause I knew one day it would come to fruition. You gotta trust it, man, follow your intuition.
Smooth.
You gotta trust it, man.
I like it. So look, as you've mentioned, you've been on TV, you've blown up on TikTok. People see the live shows, but let's talk about sacrifice. Like, how much have you had to sacrifice to get into this position that you're in today?
Oh man, sacrifice. It's a funny word for so many reasons, because I do what I love every single day. So to me, it's like, it's my life. It's why I feel like I'm here. It's me doing my higher purpose, but the sacrifice is in the self-doubt, the self-talk. Overcoming that every day is probably the challenging thing. And knowing that any single day your life can change, and not psyching yourself out. Like, there's so many moments where you're like, oh, should I do this? Should I post this? Should I put this song out? And I feel like that's the real sacrifice, Going against yourself, looking yourself in the mirror and going, I'm that guy every single day or every single second or whatever it is, but believing it, that's the hard thing. It's like, if you can believe it, you can achieve it. And that's something that I've had to deal with, moments of imposter syndrome and all these things. And being able to look yourself in the eye and say, I'm really that guy I say I am, that's what really matters. And if you can do that, you're gonna go far.
Now, I've got a quote on the show, which is behind you with the neon sign, stop thinking, just jump. Yeah. When was there a point in your life when you were like, I gotta go for it?
If we want to go to a very pinnacle moment, it would be my first song. The first song I ever released. At the time, Facebook was everything, right? The Facebook days. And I remember uploading the song, having the video for it, the whole lot. And I remember the post button, just going, once I do this, people know I'm serious about music, or once I do this, I'm now this guy. And I remember the internal chatter going on. What if this? What happens if people who don't like the song? Blah, 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 blah. Then I just went, boom, posted it, shut the laptop, and just walked off. And I just went, it's done. It's done.
Baby, play that funky beat. Take it back to 83. There's no place I'd rather be than where you.
For someone that's watching this, looking up to you, trying to achieve their dream, what advice would you give to them?
It's a great question. Get real with yourself to the point where you uncover all the bullshit. Why am I doing this? Do I really think I can do this? What is something that pisses me off? What's something I like? Get real with yourself and ask yourself these questions that are confronting, and then really believe. If you can believe it, like, and I don't mean just on a superficial level, I'm gonna be the biggest rapper, blah, 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 I'm gonna be doing this. You need to really believe it. Like, and this is something that I found myself. I was like, do I even believe it? I was like, I've been saying this for years. I'm gonna be the biggest artist in the world, blah, 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 blah. And then I had to get real with myself and be like, wait, are these words or are these actual beliefs? And then I had to take a step back and be like, all right, biggest artist in the country, 100% believe that. I was like, let's work at that. So you need to get real with yourself. If your belief is, oh, I'm gonna make a song that gets 1,000 plays, and you can truly believe that, that's better than going, I'm gonna get 1 million streams and just kind of saying it. Because that's not how it works. You need to believe it to achieve it. So that would be my biggest advice for artists, is like, get real with yourself. What do you actually see? What's actually possible in your realm?
Well, speaking of dreaming big, what's your like goal? Like, how big are you dreaming?
I'm gonna be one of the biggest artists in the world. But first I'm gonna be the biggest artist in Australia. And then it's gonna go to the world. This year I'm gonna have a song that translates heavy, in a sense, to millions of streams. Right now I've got 40, 50,000 consecutive listeners. I'm gonna have in the millions in the next 12 months. And then from there it's gonna just keep going.
Well, let's talk social media, because you're the king of TikTok. 1.3 million followers,
Yeah.
is that right?
Yeah.
I mean, what does that feel like, 1.3 million? Does that number kind of sink in?
Oh, it's crazy. It's weird, because you've probably seen those like memes that go around. It's like, you got 50,000 followers. Imagine if you put 50,000 people in a room, what would that look like? Imagine if you put 1.3 million people together. You know, you have a whole city there. And it's crazy because the grind kind of took away from the, whoa, this is actually 1.3 million. Because, you know, I was doing videos 4 videos a day at one point.
Oh, wow, okay.
You know, like I've done thousands, and I love the idea of the app. You know, you could post something, then 1 minute you're viral. And I love that. It's kind of like a rush. It's like going to the casino and putting your money on red. Because you're like, this could be the one, this could be the one. And I got obsessed with that, and I love the app so much. But the idea of 1.3 million followers, super grateful for it.
How long did it take to get to 1.3?
2 years.
Not bad.
Yeah. And and my goal was only 1 million. That was what I believed. I was like, I'm gonna get to 1 million. And then once I hit 1 million, I was just going up, 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 up. And I was like, okay. And now I'm like, all right, how can we really convert this audience to the streams, the shows, everything? So.
And how important is TikTok?
It's massive. Changed my life. TikTok is, I've been an ambassador for TikTok just in my own social life since the app came to Australia. It is massive for artists, entrepreneurs, anybody trying to get exposure. There is no social media platform, mainstream social media platform, that is actually just pushing your content to people who don't follow you like that. You're on Instagram, it's all friends. You're on Facebook, it's all friends. You're on Twitter, it has to be retweeted. You're on YouTube, you got some crazy algorithm to work out. TikTok is just short form, it's fast, it's quick, and it can go viral overnight. And I'm a success story. So that app is amazing.
Now, I saw on TikTok you've got a video that has 20 million plus views. And it was a video about a guy sitting next to you on the plane. Do you want to describe what happened?
Yep. the guy sitting next to me is my manager, Nick. And we had this idea. It was like 2020 or something. I don't know, 2021, Corona time. We had this idea. We were like, all right, everyone's wearing masks. Let's do a skit. Pretend to be a fan, listening to my song, and I'll act like it's this moment. And we were just like, no way, this is gonna go nuts. And it went nuts. And then we started doing a bunch of those type of videos. There's one where Nick's running through the streets and he chasing my car. He's like a mega fan. There's one where Nick knocks on my door and he pretends to be like DoorDash, and he's playing the song. I can't remember, but there's all these skits around it, and every single one of them got millions of views.
Well, I also saw on your social media you were recently touring with the Leeds United football team.
Yeah.
What was going on there?
Yeah, man, those guys move different. Hey, they're like, those guys move different. So Leeds United, Premier League team, some of the best players in the world.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, and they wanted me to host and present and Q&A and run the socials for them while they're in Australia. We did Gold Coast, Brisbane, Perth, and essentially I was touring with them, you know, going to the games. I was on the pitch, I was interviewing the players, you know, the meet and greets. They would shut down JD Sports. There'd be 200 Leeds United fans. I'd be the guy, you know, sitting on the chair with him. So tell me, mate, like, how was last season? Just asking them questions about the game and stuff. And yeah, it was just another facet to what I do. And it was just really eye-opening to be around that type of team structure. Not even amongst the players, but, you know, seeing every player had their manager, every player had their tour manager, and it was just like this crazy ecosystem, and just being around that, and they move different. Yeah.
All right, well, before we finish up, I've got a few quick questions. So I'll fire a few away. Sushi or jerk chicken?
Oh. Sushi. I hate to do my people like that, but you can't go wrong with sushi.
I'm surprised I was thinking jerk chicken for sure.
I probably should say that. I probably should, but nah, I eat sushi way more than jerk chicken. And just for reliability, you know, I can always count on sushi.
Here's a good one. TikTok or YouTube?
We need to elaborate more, you know, like, would I rather be popping on TikTok or YouTube? Probably YouTube. But would I rather hustle one? It'd probably be TikTok. As an overall, I'd say TikTok.
Singing or rapping?
Oh man, singing. You know, you can never take away from a great melody, you know? So yeah, singing.
Soccer or basketball?
Oh man, you're hitting me with these hard questions. Basketball.
Nike or Adidas?
Shoes, Nike. Clothes, Adidas.
Beach or city?
Beach, 100%.
Okay, and the big question, the last one, Perth or Melbourne?
Perth. Perth is where it's at. You know, you got the environment, you got the beaches, you got the weather, you got the aesthetic. But Melbourne's just where it's happening, where it's popping off. But in a dream world, if I could bring the culture from Melbourne to Perth, I would.
I'll take it. All right, and look, to finish up, where can people find you on social media?
Jaycee, Jaycee. You'll find me everywhere.
All right, well, thanks so much for coming past today. Appreciate it.
I appreciate it. That was awesome. Dope chat.